Hello everybody, welcome to another video. This video is going to be a composition vlog video. So I'm going to continue from the last video where I looked at what we call magic squares technique. I used the one that was inspired by Peter Maxwell Davies, but magic squares have been used in a lot of different ways. He used it as well. So you can check out that video if you want, or if you want to know more about magic squares, you can check out my lecture on Peter Maxwell Davies and his use of magic squares. In that video, I just explored the technique briefly and generated some compositional material. And I chose to write for clarinet, score in C, and I don't really like it. So I'm going to compose with it now, and I'm going to use a variety of techniques to compose with it, to compose with the material that I generated. So going over what I did, you can see here I have this little phrase that I made, which I kind of quite like. Then I have this other phrase, which I don't know if I like. So I was thinking, maybe I should not have it for clarinet. I don't know, maybe I want to change it to cello. I can hear a cello thing going on there. But then I was like, why do I want to do that? Should I just pursue the clarinet and see what happens? Because you never know, if I really go for it. Right, I'll explore it more on the clarinet and maybe I'll add instruments to it. For now, I'm going to keep the score in C because it's easier, I think. Or is it? I'll keep it in C for now, just in case I add instruments to it. And I always usually transpose at the very end when I've finished a piece. I'll try and do more composing with what I've generated now. And I will say, I noticed this in the last video, there's this bit here. I had a staccatissimo on a dotted quaver. You would instinctively maybe remove the dot. It just makes more sense visually. I think you could staccatissimo on a crotchet, but it's something that people have always sort of had an issue with. I personally don't think it matters. I think it has an effect. If you think that's the duration of the note and you want to staccatissimo it, maybe you've got a quite a sound envelope coming off afterwards. It's open to interpretation, isn't it? But for argument's sake, I'm going to edit that bit. Now, how do I compose with this? What can I do? Shall I start? Alright, I'll start with the first phrase, see what it sounds like. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, I don't know, I want to add more instruments to it. I don't know, it's just such a simple thing. Well, it's fine, it's just it doesn't really explore anything that deep. I'm trying to think. So if we have it on an A and a clarinet, that'd be a throat. Oh, this is a B though, really, so it'll be on a B. So it goes down to the A, so that's a throaty note. Could I do anything with the timbre? I'm thinking, because it needs more, it's very classical. And the notes themselves are not very imaginative, I don't think. I know I want to do this next bit. I'll just start with the next bit. So this bit here. What I want to do is I want to repeat this bit. Oh, what am I doing here? I have no plan. I kind of want to repeat that. I imagined it on the cello or something, just repeating like an ostinato. And let's do something, let's retrograde it. There's a thing you can do, there's a plugin and you can just click retrograde, which is it's a bit cheeky, isn't it? So let's see what happens. So here we have the thing. If I just play this in retrograde, there we go, it's retrograded it for me. I'll have to change the phrasing, so that will be slurred, but then this I think will be tied and emphasised. Maybe I'll do something. This would be quite difficult actually to do. Right, and then oh, okay. So this will be slurred, and then this will be tied and emphasised. Slurred, tied. Yeah, we've got a pattern going here now. Slurred, tied. Now I do feel like I want another instrument in here. It needs something else. Maybe a piano. It could be a clarinet duet. I don't know. Something else needs to come in, I think. Oh, somebody just posted a letter. Terrified the life out of me, that did. I think what I'll do in this video is I'll look at various techniques to sort of vary rhythm. You can use these things called canonic techniques. I have a whole lecture out on canonic techniques used in contemporary music. You get things like inversion, retrograde inversion, mirror canons, canonic techniques, such as imitation. These things are kind of like Renaissance techniques, Baroque techniques, but they're used in serialism as well, and composers post-serialism use them, and they're useful ways of varying material. And to be fair, if you just think about what you do with music, it can all be analysed and given a term. It's what people do. So when people think, I want to vary this, they might be like, right, you've put it in retrograde, or you've inverted it. There's a way of analysing it, or you've inverted it and you've altered that note. Like whatever you do to vary music, someone's going to put a term on it and go, that's an inversion retrograde, or that's imitation on the fifth, or you've transposed that upper tone, or you've augmented that note, or there's a diminution there, you know, things like that. So it doesn't matter, like, if you sit there thinking, well, why would you just apply all these techniques to music anyway, because that's already been done, you're not thinking for yourself. No, you can think for yourself, just know that everything you do has probably already been analysed and given a term. Every time we think a certain way, someone's come up with a way to describe that way of thinking. So I think we can also vary this thing that repeats. I feel like there's another melody that I need to come up here. I don't know what it says about me that I can't just write a simple solo melody. I think we'll change the pitch. Quite like this bit. But I feel like I want there to be like a repeat. What other instrument can we have? I'm gonna add a piano, because also we can look at other techniques that Peter Maxwell Davies used. I'm just gonna add a piano. More music notes. How do you add a piano? Now you need to add your brackets, make it neat. I started off handwriting scores, and then I had to learn how to use Sibelius. This first melody, do I like it? It's too fast, I think. It sort of goes through it too quick. I don't know, I liked it last time kind of, it just doesn't sound very good, does it? Now, I'll talk to you what Peter Maxwell Davies does. So he's done his magic square thing. Check out the last video for that. Then he will take, in a marimba part, you can see this in his Ave Maricela piece, he will take, say, some of the pitches and be like, right, well, I'll add some sustaining notes in here. So we've got an A, for example, so he might play an A here, but he'd have it sustaining on, so this might last the whole bar. And then he might get the D coming in. So you have another note underneath, maybe playing a D. So it's sort of sustained, so you take this D and it's like sustained on, maybe add an E here. And I would match the dynamics, but also here's another composery tip. Think about the different dynamic ranges of instruments. How easy is it for a piano to play piano and a clarinet and what they have to do? But also with a duet, the performers are going to work with each other, so you could have the same dynamics on both lines and they both work it out. This is more of an issue with orchestral instruments. I'm also going to have the sustain pedal on. This is going to be a very sustain-y thing. Yeah, I don't really like this. It's a bit boring. I want to swear. It's a bit I'm going to take this G, comes in here, this G is nice, and I'm going to sustain that G actually into the next bar. This is a really interesting piano part. I've never written anything like this before, I don't think. So this G is going to continue. Oh, but I like this D that comes in here. We've got an E, G, ooh. Maybe, oh yeah, okay. Okay, I officially do not like this melody. Let's go to the piano, this bit here though. It needs to repeat a bit more, I think. I'll put this in retrograde. If you're following this, wow. Well done. I don't have a plan. I'm just taking material and playing around with it. But I do have an idea. I feel like this is gonna be played in the piano, like in a direct canon, like in an imitation canon. What do you call it? Call and response, question and answer, just overlapping. But I don't know when it's gonna come in. Maybe it comes in here, an octave higher. No, that came in too soon. I kind of need to orchestrate this a bit better. So I think I'll do it bar by bar. So these bits can be played in the right hand, and this bit can be played in the left hand. I don't think the articulation should be the same either. I don't know, maybe it's too uniform. Maybe they need to come in, maybe it needs to be half a bar. Oh, the thought processes here. I think half a bar. Because I kind of have this idea of like things going up and up and up, and yeah, maybe it should be clarinet duet. I'm so indecisive. Okay, I kind of maybe like this bit. I'll just carry on orchestrating this for now. If this were the opening, this would be better. It sort of grabs your attention more. And maybe this should be an octave higher, because it can be. Maybe this can be as well. Or maybe even higher. I kind of want more rhythms now. So maybe here I'd have a really fast sort of, maybe I'd double it, so I'd diminution the rhythm of this bit. Maybe a big flourish or something. Or maybe this line would fit there more. Maybe this bit. Or this bit. Maybe, okay, what I'll do is I'll add in this bit here, but I'm going to add in extra notes, maybe grace notes or something, I don't know. So they've done this bit, so they'll need a breath. I'll give them a bar's breath. I think I'll repeat that piano bit just because I need something else in there. I'll just add in the phrase marks first. I think dynamics will change throughout that section. I don't like this bar. Well, here we have something. I know I said I was going to add in extra notes. I will do that, but I'm going to just double this part in the piano. An octave lower maybe. And this will go in this hand. So we have this. Okay, I'm going to add in a bit more notes. Oh, here I think I'll add in some more. So I'll have it quite fast. Right. Let's see what we've got. Okay, I don't like going back down to this note. I don't know if going up is right. I don't really like going down to the F sharp either. F not. Okay, no, I like that. I don't think I like going straight onto this bit. So I'll pause, I'll wait a bit. I don't like it, I feel like it should maybe carry on a bit. I like this loud bit. Maybe that should be a chord or something. It should definitely be a chord. I'll put it in octaves for now. But like, with the thought of maybe making it into some chords. Oh, I don't know, it's a mess. There's some bits I quite like. I like this flourishy bit here. But I feel like it comes in too soon. Like, I feel like these are snapshots of a piece. Skeletal snapshots crammed together. I feel like I need to expand them out a bit more and restructure the material. And I guess I'll do that in another video. But it's just like, I'm not finished composing yet. This is like a rough sketch and there's so much more to explore. And just to summarise what we've briefly looked at today. The point of this video was to try and emphasise how composing is not just taking a process and having it generate the piece. It's a lot of thinking. The composing process is what you do with the material that you have generated. So in the last video, we sort of generated this material using Peter Maxwell Davies's kind of use of the magic square. And then I've played around with the material even more. I found a twiddly bit that was generated, this bit, and from this, literally from these 4 notes here, I expanded it out to these 7 and a bit bars, and using another part of the material that I generated last video, I added that on here. So already during this composing session, just using what I have and moving around the material in different ways, I've come up with more music. And that's composing, I think. And the structure needs a lot of work. I am not happy with any of this. It's not quite right. It's a really raw process, quite invasive filming it. I think it's structure. I think the issue is structure. And to summarise the techniques we've looked at in this video, in order to play around with material, we looked at retrograde. Well, that's all we looked at, and we looked at a bit of imitation as well. So I took this thing and I put it in retrograde, and I put it in retrograde again. I've got a palindrome in this section here. If you want to learn more about palindromes, check out my Messiaen lecture. Anyway, so thanks for watching. This has been a bit about composing, and I hope it's been useful. I'll see you in the next composing video where we'll see if we can do more with this piece. Bye for now.